Jamaicans, I don't know what else to say. Never have I seen or heard a Prime Minister this lie. And trust me, all of them are liars. But this one, lie bad. It wicked how the man so barefaced to come in front you people every day with a new lie. Can you believe this man Anjonis claimed that our debt was 60% of our GDP and claim it is reduced now to 28%? People, come on. If that were true, he would have more money to give you the right amount of minimum wage. He would have abolished inflation and pay off the IMF once and for all. If you missed those information, just check out all the previous videos done about Anjonis for the real truth.
After decades of struggling with a debt crisis and paying as high as 60% of our budget to debt service, we are now seeing the dividends of a reduced debt servicing burden of 28%. And the financial space it creates to increase expenditure on social investments in the areas of education, health, housing, national security, infrastructure, energy, environment, and social welfare.
Now, people, one thing I always come with is the truth. And today I am here to tell you that our debt to GDP, first of all, was never 60%. And second of all, has not been reduced. So the true percentage of our debt to GDP is 77.9%. And if the economy is not taken seriously, it will remain at that level until 2028 before seeing a significant increase in debt. So in 2018 alone, our debt to GDP was 99% and it dropped to 84.1% at the end of 2022. Now, people, the last time I checked these figures, signifies a failing country. So does 77.9%.
The Jamaica Labour Party will not stand still. We are preparing for the challenges ahead, ending absolute poverty in Jamaica, building world-class infrastructure, creating the technology society, climate-proofing our country, removing the disease of violence from our land, and securing peace for our people. We are now in the best position to fulfill the true potential of our great nation. And the Jamaica Labour Party is energized and ready to lead Jamaica to our destiny of peace and prosperity.
After all is said, Mr. Owens, that is not a win. I know you are trying to win the hearts of the people. You cheated, but keep on lying, big man. That just wrong, Mr. Prime Minister. Promising financial space to increase expenditures and social investments in the areas of education, health, housing, security, infrastructure, energy, etc. Such bold lies, Mr. Owens. None of this is actually possible. In reality, all they do is continue money mismanagement. For example, Health Minister giving every member of Parliament $1 million to host 2 health fairs, and now MPs are to get $189 million to undertake health screening in their constituencies. Look at those figures, Jamaica. What happened to the hospitals themselves? The last time I checked, they were free and in need of beds, oxygens, medications, burn units, and better paid healthcare providers. But you can't spend $18 million for a welcome sign, but the only thing you people willing to upgrade it to is the money that is going into your MPs and parliamentarians' pockets. Nothing you promise cannot take effect. They will never happen. When a one room built by the government costs $12 million, when our human capital development is destroyed by your IMF deals, education and health suffers and can't be better, and the proper investment to build infrastructure without adding to our debt, when a cabinet is the ultimate leaders of corruption. And the only thing you can do is use SOE to trick regular people and manipulate criminals to increase and decrease violence crime when you want to save face. So who are you trying to fool? You cannot pay off our debt. You cannot improve the country, Mr. Andrew Holness. Currently, Jamaica owes $2 trillion in debt. But who do we owe this debt to? So the largest owners of Jamaica government debt are private bond holders. At 61%, bonds are Jamaica's largest source of international debt. So the government of Jamaica issues bonds to raise money from investors willing to lend them money for a certain amount of time. So for example, the government of Jamaica has advertised the country and the international bonds market to entice an investors into a 15-year bond agreement at a fixed 8% interest rate set to expire March 15, 2039. They claim that they will use the $1.24 billion for general budgetary purpose of Jamaica. So this money is just an excuse for government to rob the country while skyrocketing the debt, leaving us to pay back the $1.24 billion plus the interest rate of $99.45 million in 15 years down the line. So the money is not to invest in any development in the country to obtain a profit from. So at least it could have been recorded as Jamaica using the $1.24 billion to invest in Jamaica's economy so that it could generate a 1,000% increase in profit over a 5-year period. Then it would make sense. But to have it spent on only expenditures such as purchasing chairs or desks or to rent buildings, no, that's ridiculous. This is another corrupt intention of the government to keep raising the debt so that they can profit and hold down the country development. When they leave parliament, it is the people that is left to pay the debt. So the government owes nothing. That is why it is fair to say that all the money that is in the country is for the people. We should be the ones benefiting from all the money. So this type of bonds are just an example. So you have trade bonds also exist as well. So using China and US trade bond as an example. So the US advertised a 50-year bond of $1 trillion for trades. So China sees it and invests. So what this does, it allows the US to import goods at a lower cost. And the loan would cover the leftover price. For example, the US would order a phone for $10,000 from China, and the total US would pay is $500, and the bond would cover the remaining $9,500. So even though China would have to wait 50 years for the debt to be paid off with the interest, they would declare that whatever they decide to purchase from the US should also be at a minimum but without any subsidiary involved. So US would have to foot the loss of the remaining cost. You see how leaders make decisions, and China is winning right there. Both countries had a mutual agreement and they are benefiting equally. And whenever you look at Jamaica, you see in which way we are, as leader, we do not make decisions to benefit the people of our country. So what's the purpose of having leaders? You ever wonder why so much of Jamaica GDP earned is put away in the reserve? Money that could spend to improve people's life, money that could be used as subsidiaries to reduce food price. You ever wonder why? Let me tell you the reason why. Most of our money is corruptedly held in preserve. You have something called bond rating. This affects how we borrow money going into the future. So the lower your bond rating, the more likely the rating agency believe you won't pay them back their bond in the future. So currently, Jamaica bond rating is a B+. and being exploited by the government. And for all we know, we can hope to 8 trillion US dollars in 10 years time into the future. So if we don't expose them now, how will we stop more debt from happening? So our next largest set of lenders are the International Monetary Fund, the Inter-American Development Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, etc. They own more than 31% of Jamaica's debt. For example, our commercial banks and the Bank of Jamaica is not owned by Jamaica, but by the IMF itself. It is responsible for how the banks treat us and our money, and also for the tiny sum of $250,000 loan that a Jamaican can borrow to start a business. What if we don't want to start a corner shop, a barber shop, or raising chicken? Them the type of business there. We will be denied larger loan and barred from opportunities. But Chinese, Indians, and other immigrants can get multi-million-dollar loans with no restrictions because they are not black